Hello, Mickey, and welcome back to Toronto.
Thank you, Jack.
I understand you've just finished doing a show in New York, and you're here to perform at a Sufi musical night in Toronto.
Yeah, I got an opportunity to do that.
Lovely. So your music has been described as soulful.
Yeah.
Now, is that perhaps because of a personal journey that you're on?
Yeah, it is, of course. When I sing, people will tell me sometimes, mostly I forget the lyrics while I'm singing the song, because I really don't bother about the lyrics when I'm singing, because my singing gets connected. I get connected. I don't know about the audience. The response that I get from my audience is sometimes I see people when I'm singing, one-on-one to, in a small group. I don't know why it has just started happening now that I see people start crying when I'm singing. So they're crying because they get connected. Probably, something happens with the music, which goes into your body and hits that part of the pituitary of your brain gland that stimulates the entire body. That that sometimes we say we're listening to this song and we're having goosebumps, or you showed me something and we get goosebumps. So these goosebumps are all connected with the pituitary gland.
Right.
So music has some kind of those resonance that goes into the body and basically stimulate that part of the gland that people get into different trance.
Right.
I enjoy that trance myself. I don't know what public enjoys, but I love it, and I get connected. And when I get connected to the Almighty, then I feel that there is nobody in front of me. I see only light all over around me, and I sing for that light. That's my kind of performance for music for me now.
That's beautiful. Now, what I've read, and I found it really fascinating, and it really resonated with me, was the work that you've done with jail inmates across India at correction facilities.
Yes.
Also, I read a little bit about your passion project, which is the Mickey Narula Karmic Connection. And I would love to, and I think a lot of our viewers would love to hear.
Yeah, Jag has done a lot of research before she started this interview.
It was something that really jumped out at me.
That's fantastic. Yes, Jag, I started doing this event for the jails a couple of years ago. A very, very dear friend of mine, he was the Additional Director General of Police of Jail Department in India, in Maharashtra and in Madhya Pradesh. So that's where I started it. I go and perform musical therapies to the jail inmates.
Wow.
Boys are full of energy. They are full of anger and temperament because they are confined in that little environment. That correction center is actually a correction center. I try to give them meditative music. I try to sing for them. And during my visitations to the jail, I discovered that these kids who are in the jail, all these kids whose parents are into the jail for certain reasons, they need facilities. There is nobody to provide them. Mickey Narula's Karmic Connection, by the grace of God, has come into existence because of that. So I have started performing shows. I have started doing events from which whatever amount of money I'm generating, the entire amount of money I am providing to the different categories and giving it to people for such occasions or such problems, or at the occasion like there is a natural calamity. Sometimes there is flooding or there is drought.
Right. Yeah.
Those situations. So I feel this is my moral duty as to go help people. So that is what Mickey Narula's Karmic Connection is.
Well, thank you for that, because making an impact and giving back is something that more of us need to do, and on a regular basis. So tell me, what are some of your current projects?
One of my current project is Jag. I'm really working very hard on this Mickey Narula's Karmic Connection, and I'm also working on a few of my music videos now. I've recently released a couple of my singles with various albums, various companies. T-Series has released my Shabad with one and only legendary singer Suresh Wadkar,
Right.
Hey Gobind, Hey Gopal.
Right.
which is doing very well. And other than that, I'm working on a lot of music videos, which I'll be shooting. One I'll be shooting this time around when I'm in US.
Okay.
And basically, music is something which is going on, with me. So I cannot tell you that tomorrow I'm going to do this. Maybe in between today and tomorrow, some other project may fall into my bucket, and I have to finish that.
Right. I've seen a phrase that often follows your name, and that's music in my wings.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about the meaning behind that?
I don't know. When I was, starting up with my career, when I starting in Bombay and touring around the world, I met a lot of people, and they used to tell me that Mickey, you should do nothing else and just the music, because music is in your veins. Now, why is it in my veins? Because my father is a legendary composer. I know Sardar K.S. Narula. Every Punjabi person would know my father very well. My mother, Mrs. Mohini Narula, is one of the top leading singer of her time, her era. So music is something which I have not done myself. Music is actually, you cannot do music, you cannot learn music. Right. Music is something which is the grace of God, which flows right from the heaven right straight into your system. So I would say, yes, you can practice and polish a little bit on the music, but you cannot really learn music. It's God's grace. Right. Every talent is God's grace, I would say. Maybe it be pottery, may it be acting, may it be anything that is related to talent. And similarly, music is the biggest God's grace, because I also tell my friends and fans that music is the shortest form of meditation and path towards the Lord, towards the God, towards the Almighty. So music is my path towards my God. So I say music is in my veins.
Lovely, lovely. Would you be so kind to share a few verses with us, your audience?
Sure. There's one song that I've just recently recorded, and a very famous poet, Farhad Shahzad, has written this, and the lyrics of the Mukra is very simple. So when he gave it to me, he said, "Tu, bas, tu, bas, tu, haq hu." Now, haq hu means everything around the universe falls under one word, which is haq hu, which is Allah, which is God, which is Om, which is Onkar. So I have composed, or I would say this God has composed making me the medium of that. Tu bas, tu bas, tu bas, tu. Tan, 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 tan. Oh, tu bas, tu bas, tu haq hu. वहम कान भी तू, सोच वजदान भी तू, दिल तो दिल दी हुक भी तू, आशिक तू, माशूक भी तू. तू बस, तू बस, तू हक हू.
That's beautiful. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you perform, and thank you for coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you very much for being there.